Again for our live cast from HIMSS 2026. We've got Skip Sorrells from Clarity here with us in the booth, the CISO for Clarity, joining us today.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you for having me.
We're glad to have you in the booth.
Super excited.
Have you had a good day and a half here on the floor?
Today has been an incredibly awesome day. Lots of excitement.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lots of media intakes. There's some news going on with a hack right now. So,
It happened to
yeah,
someone,
yeah.
so
I won't name names, but
Yeah.
lots going on in the news. So I've had
Right.
lots of questions.
Lots of
Yeah.
questions.
Did some presentation earlier.
All right.
So it's been a great morning.
Have you been over in the Cyber Pavilion?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
we host the stage over in the Cyber Pavilion, and then we've got the booth right there in the center.
Yeah, I
Okay.
love the
And so-
black and pink.
And you see our banners everywhere. So we've got a great
Yes.
marketing team working for us.
Yeah, your marketing team's been on it.
Yeah, they have.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I want to talk about clarity a little bit.
Sure.
Because one of the very first questions I asked you is it clarity or clarity? Because it's CLAROTY.
OTY. Correct.
I know, for a second there I was like, what was that last letter I just said? But you said that OT is intentional. So tell me, and the others,
Sure.
what that is.
So Clarity was founded 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And the premise behind Clarity is in contextual sense. When we're talking, we want to be clear, right?
Yeah.
Clarity. It's
Right.
clarity.
Right.
The founders were focused at the time on bringing clarity or visibility to operational technologies, hence the OT,
Oh.
operational technologies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hence, 4 years ago, they also recognized that there was another company in the space that was focused on medical devices,
Right.
and they acquired Medigate. So now we have a platform that combines the best of both worlds, and we have the ability to see anything that's connected to the internet, to the wire of a network, and fingerprint it, and know all we need to know about it, from its risk profile to its communication patterns, all sorts of really cool intelligence, just by listening to the traffic and the packets.
What's your typical customer look like, Skip?
So we are a global global company, and we focus in the industrial space as well as healthcare,
Mhm.
and obviously healthcare kind of being its own vertical. So healthcare delivery organizations, I think we've got 30 to almost 40% of the market in the United States alone. We do have a presence in Japan. We're starting to really grow in Canada and getting some traction in Europe. Europe's a bit different with the government regulations, so we're still working to figure that out. On the industrial side, we have Fortune 50 companies, Fortune 500. You name it. You could probably name a brand. I'd say, yep, they're a customer. So very, very excited to be at that company. I was a customer for 6.5 years in the healthcare space.
Nice.
I believed they were an extension of my team, so true partners. And I wanted to go work for the energy and the aspect of what they were doing to help other people with cyber.
Yeah. And your background is really interesting.
Yes.
We had a little bit of a bonding moment.
We did.
Yeah, in our green room, aka the hallway. And you're a nurse by background.
I am. I got my bachelor's in nursing. I was an ICU trauma nurse. Cut my teeth at Parkland. That was my first job out of school. I told you I was an EMT while I worked my way through
Yeah.
nursing school. So fast forward, I now have my master's in cyber. So, I always get the question, well, how did you go from nursing to cyber? The reality is, you probably easily answer this. We love to solve problems.
Yes.
And so it's just that thought process that comes natural. How do you diagnose a problem?
Right, right. And that is an extension, the diagnosis of seeing what is happening out there in the
Correct.
cyber landscape. So talk to us a little bit about what those threats look like and how Clarity is able to come in and partner with an organization to alleviate some of that stress or burden.
Sure. So, hackers honestly are lazy.
Well, that's good to know.
Efficient though.
They're very efficient, but they're lazy. They take the path of least resistance. One of the things that we're really intrigued in watching right now is the increase in hacktivism. And they're still hackers, they still cause disruption, and they can still cause harm. But what they're doing is they're basically using free tools to surf the internet to look for doors that are open and unlocked. So remote connections into facilities, into systems. And quite frankly, we're seeing an increase in their ability to find these open doors, and with no vulnerabilities whatsoever, just compromising default credentials, they're gaining access and taking over systems and creating, destruction through what they basically kill in the term of either an operational technology or erasing an entire system.
Wow.
It's
That's
so
fact.
scary.
It is, because the landscape of cyber has transformed just in the past, call it year and a half,
Yes,
in a monumental way. We
absolutely.
always knew threats were in the office itself, sit next to you every day, right?
Right.
But now, with the advent of AI, let's talk about what you see around this landscape of cyber, and AI and agentic AI. What is your job now in protection of systems?
It's a great question. I don't know all the answers to that one yet. It's still emerging even for me. The one thing that I do know is that as a practitioner, AI for me is a force multiplier. It is a powerful tool if I am able to harness it in the right way. And so what I hope and optimistically foresee is leveraging AI to create a shift left in organizations,
Like,
getting critical thinking where it needs to be and the mundane handled by the things that can be automated. Although there always has to be a human in the loop, somebody to verify it. Now, that to me creates an even bigger challenge in our skill set, because we're already lacking cyber professionals that have actually been there, done that, the ability to be that human in the loop and understand whether or not AI is getting it right.
mhm.
And so I do have concerns about that. And so I think the skills gap is going to become a little bit bigger and there's a bit more pressure on it. Um, the good news is those that have those skills are going to be in high demand.
100%.
So
Yes.
um, that's a real general overview of AI. Let's flip that. Hackers are lazy. So what are they going to do? Excuse me. They are going to leverage AI to be a force multiplier,
Yeah.
to accelerate their ability.
Right.
I think I saw a statistic from one of our partner organizations that said they had witnessed and documented a entry and exfiltration or compromise in 48 seconds.
Wow.
It used to take days and weeks, and we're down to under a minute now.
So how do you notice that? What signal? Yeah.
Those blips on the back end of a server.
Yeah. So it comes in the form of uh, so if you have an agent that's going to see that activity, you'll get an alert. So it's almost like I make the analogy of one of the movies that came out, and it was almost like Battleship, and they were using the beacons floating on the water, and they had sensors, and they could tell the enemy was getting close because the beacons would start to move.
Right.
And that's quite similar to what we see in cyber. And so you see alerts start to go off, and it's almost like the swarm is coming sometimes.
Okay.
And sometimes you see nothing, and all of a sudden you see this bright, this flashing beacon, and it's like, oh my God, that's command and control. And you start seeing things moving left and right. And so it's that movement that becomes the signal that you really have to hone in on. But it usually starts with an alert.
Well, I'm thankful that you have the ability to find it and then shut it down so quickly, because otherwise you have, as you said, there's this activity in the news today where someone has come in and now it's in the resilience strategy.
Right.
Do you do anything with resilience? Do you help an organization say, listen, if there is a threat, this is how we're also going to partner to get you back up and running?
I'm smiling. That's my favorite question right now. I just had a conversation. One of my presentations was on shifting the mindset from uh, cyber risk to operational resilience, especially in healthcare. And one of the things that I've seen that's lacking is business impact analysis happen in healthcare, but they've been isolated to traditional IT,
Right.
and they have
Right.
not extended it to the operational technologies that exist within hospitals. They're just like cities. You've got power plants, you've got water, you got HVAC. Any of those things are susceptible, and those systems are even older than some of the medical devices. They can't be patched.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I was thinking about something, Skip. I was thinking about the big one from Equifax back in the day,
Okay.
the missed patch.
Mhm.
How many of those do you think are still out there?
Millions.
Millions.
There are millions of vulnerabilities out there. And I, when I started, really focusing on building a program around med device security, this was 8 years ago. We were highly focused. The industry was highly focused on vulnerability remediation and patching. I would tell you today, it's a fool's errand, to be quite honest. We have got to get to the ability to understand, one, visibility, what we have, what it's exposed to, is it exploitable? Those three key things are the most important to risk identification, prioritization, and action.
Yeah. So it's more than just putting up walls and monitoring. It's understanding the environment
Correct.
and where you're at. Now, do you also help with that? Can you come in and look at what you have already in-house and do an analysis and say, listen, here's some of your risk areas. Let's try to figure out how we can help you eliminate potential threats to those.
Absolutely. So one thing that I think sets us apart, and that we're very actively, especially this year, we just kicked off a whole new program, and me and a colleague trained on this a couple of weeks ago at our sales kickoff, and it's the idea of developing programs, and I've been doing that for many years. And so we come alongside our customers. We have the right platform to create the information. And I'll be honest, our platform for me started out as a cyber tool, and I immediately realized it was the tip of the spear.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a business intelligence platform.
Yes.
And I was able to use it interdepartmentally to inform people for initiatives that had nothing to do with cyber, but the after effect was a reduction in risk, right?
Yeah.
So the programmatic approach is we come in, we come alongside the customer, we understand their enterprise, their inner workings, their maturity level, their resources, and we say, just like you said, based on where you're at right now, let's talk about your business impact analysis. Let's talk about your workflows, your clinical workflows. If this particular workflow goes down, let's talk about patient tracking and safety, right? There's like 8 different systems that go into a baby tracker.
Right.
Any one of those things goes out, it becomes problematic. And that's a patient safety thing, right?
Sure.
And so being able to look at that and understand the culture, the inner workings and how those workflows, and being able to speak that language with them, one, I become empathetic to their problem. And two, I can then sit with them and say, look, this is the reality. And this is how we need to hone in on the things that are most important to that resilience based on your operational resilience or your disaster recovery plan. And let's build back from that plan and look at the risks that are associated in the links to each of those workflows.
It's a smart way of doing it.
That is good.
Backing into it.
Yeah.
You're the tip of the spear. You can already say out here what you need to do.
Right.
And walk the client backwards in workflows to keep their shop open in case of a disaster. Because there's no silver bullet to hiring a company.
No.
Make no mistake. Those guys stay up all night, every night on as much Red Bull as they can, trying to figure out a way to get in.
Here's a staggering statistic. It came out about 6 months ago. 98% of all healthcare organizations have been hacked. They've had at least one event in the last 12 months.
That's a large number.
It is a large number, and yet I think it's reality because we talk about this on a fairly regular basis. So it's not a question of if, it's just a question of when.
Absolutely.
So if you have been in the 2%, are they just plain lucky, or do they truly have a good cyber program?
We are in Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas odds. That'd be Vegas odds.
I don't know.
Are they still on paper?
That's a
right.
Right. I mean,
And that's an
wrong,
option,
right?
No, she is not wrong. I've had that conversation. Like, you look at certain systems and you're like, that thing doesn't really have to be on the network. Why is it there?
Yeah.
Well, it has a port. Oh, I don't
So you
care.
plug it in just because it has a port. So,
Actually, real world technician walked by and saw a workstation unplugged. Oh, it must have been unplugged.
Yeah.
It plugged it in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alerts.
Listen,
alerts.
that's another important aspect, though, that you just brought up, because they weren't trying to do anything other than be helpful.
Correct.
They thought they were solving a problem.
But that's a hacker's dream.
Phishing. Perfect example.
Yeah.
You play on the emotion of somebody wanting to be normal, human, helpful, right?
Oh, somebody dropped a thumb drive that said important personnel files
My favorite.
Favorite. Next thing you know, alerts.
So I ran the pen test team at the organization I was at before, and I wasn't there to experience that. I would have loved to, but the year previously they had a big gathering of all the employees,
Yeah.
and they wanted to do a cyber training because it was relatively new.
Right?
What did they do? Guys,
Yeah, all over the.
guess what else they did? They put up a Wi-Fi SID, and they walked around and just piece of tape. People started connecting to it, and my team started
The snatch it and grab.
snapping the information, and then they got up on the stage and said, "Can I get Joe to join me on the stage? Can I get Mary? We'd like to talk to you about your experience." And they did it in a really good way, but the educational moment of we just don't think everything is like at the tip of our fingertips on our phones, and we
Right,
just
right.
attach. We just like, oh, I gotta have Wi-Fi, right? I'm
Right.
jonesing,
Right.
and you don't realize what you don't think about it, right? You could drop right into the hands of the enemy.
Most do. Most, and it's that distraction too, internal for emails. Back in the day, one of my early part of my company, we were doing some cyber training for credit unions.
Okay.
And so we hosted a luncheon for the credit unions of the state. And so we put 2 screens up. You're gonna love this. Skip, the audience can see this side and the audience can see this side, but the divider is in the middle, right? So you can't see what this person on this computer is doing over here. So we call Gladys up to the front. Hey, Gladys, we want you to pretend with us for a second. Sit here and just look through emails. And so, but there's some important stuff that's going to come up. It's almost St. Patrick's Day. So you can look at any of those emails. We got our guy over here on the left. He's sending them across. So Gladys is doing what she does. Up pops a card, a Valentine's St. Patrick's Day card. She opens it. So this is on a big screen. She opens it. On this screen over here, we show her opening a port. We show us going into the HR file, changing the salary of an employee, backing out before Gladys finishes reading the back of the bottom line. The faces were like, "Are you kidding?" Right. That could really happen. No, we just showed you what happened.
Yes.
I
That
said,
fast.
That fast. These guys are experts at what they're doing. And Gladys is doing what she normally does. She just clicked on a funny card
That's right.
and probably passed it to 2, 3 other friends.
That person got a raise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite of late are the smishing attempts.
Yes.
Smishing.
So it's a fish text.
Okay.
Goes like this. Hey, Skip, I really need you to help me out. This is, name CEO, right? Can you go buy some Apple cards? I'm trying to give some gifts out. I'm in a hurry, right? I kid you not.
I just got one.
And they typically send them to the admins that are already running like 5 different executives, and they catch them off guard, and they're like, oh yeah, let me get right on that, right?
Yeah.
And they hand over money.
I received one of those last month. I was at another provider, and the CIO, it just happened to be he's a buddy of mine, so I'm not there any longer. But I received hey, we need assistance getting these funds. Can you help? I'm out of the office right now. I just sent it to him. I said, they're getting good. They're
Yeah,
getting really
exactly,
good.
exactly.
So
Well,
Skip.
thank you for scaring me.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
It's not all fear and gloom.
It's all the stories that we all need to understand.
Right.
We need to make sure that we've got something in place.
Sure.
So having a partner like Clarity that can help understand where you're at today, meet you where you're at, and then just build on that. It's such an important partnership.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Skip, for joining.
Thank you.
Keep up the
Appreciate
good
that.
fight, man. Keep
Thank
up the
you.
good fight.
Yeah.
I love
See
it.
you again on the floor.
All right.
One nurse to
Pleasure.
the next.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell everyone where they can find Clarity.
Yeah.
Clarity. We're here at HIMSS on the first floor in the Cyber Pavilion. We're right in the middle. You can't miss us. Follow the signs. You'll walk right to us.
All right. All right. We'll see you soon.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, that was fun. Yeah, well, I'm not too worried about that, but I
Go ahead.
have to say though, I'm just so happy to see nurses that are coming in and just building. Come on in.
Come on
Okay, Cheryl. Just building on those skills.
Yes, it.
Love it. Love it.
All right.
I'm so
Hi.
excited. Oh my gosh. Alvin has told us so many good things about you.
Yes. So for our fans out there that are watching live, we're still at HIMSS26 on the floor. We're shooting live with Cheryl Panner here, right? Hammer for your head of marketing, right?
No, I'm head of marketing insights, which means I'm the statistician that looks at all the analytics.
That's a lot of data.
A lot of data.
That's a lot of data.
Yes.
Wait, and for the company of
Minitab.
Tab.
Yes.
Right. So tell us a little bit about Minitab.
So Minitab has actually been in business for over 50 years.
All right.
And they started as Minitab statistical software and analytics software, but over time, analytics has built into more things like data collection, visualization, statistics, data science, simulation, lots. So it's a full analytics platform.
Do you dream about numbers at night? For real?
I do. Yes, for real. So I have actually been at Minitab for 32 years. So it's been my world, looking at how analytics have changed over the years, and so much more data now that we can use to.
Tell me more about what you do in healthcare, because I understand you're in many industries.
Yes.
Healthcare is just one of the verticals that you're in.
Yes.
So from an organization perspective, how are you helping your clients?
Yeah. So one of the big things is predictive analytics, where we can do things like predict the likelihood of a patient being readmitted. Right? Incredibly important.
Yeah.
Well, if we know that this patient has the demographics and background or whatever that is very likely to need readmitted, we can spend more time making sure that doesn't happen. Because we can't spend our time everywhere. We all have limits. But if we can get a model that predicts, this is where you should spend your time, we're helping everyone.
Well, it's about the quality aspect of it then too.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to have to go back to the hospital. It
Right.
was already bad enough that you were there one time. You don't want to go back for the second time.
And we have so much information about that patient that we can actually use that information to know this person's high risk. So, let's do some more follow-up care.
Now, you have this data.
Mhm.
You have the stats behind it. You've got proof points. How hard is it to sell an institution on you need this, especially in healthcare? Or do they get it once they see the data?
People believe they need analytics, right? So that's not a hard sell. I think what gets hard is just where to start, right?
Yes.
So, because it's overwhelming thinking about the potential and the options and,
Do you show them that data up front? Like, hey, look, here's what others are doing. You're in the same vein. You should be paying attention to these. Does that help them understand? Does that make it easier for them to understand the mission they need to go on for?
For sure. And the other thing I ask is, what's keeping you up at night, right? Because we can't solve everything at once, right? So let's really focus on your top problem right now. And yeah.
Good.
What are you hearing in the industry as far as what are the top problems? I would imagine that there's got to be some commonalities. Organization to organization. We always like to say, everybody thinks they're unique, and how they do something might be a little bit unique,
right?
But in the end, we all have a lot of the same.
Yeah. So, obviously, things around patient care and safety are always top of mind, right? So, yes, readmissions, patient falls, all the, there's a lot of key metrics there. But I think the biggest thing top of mind right now is AI, and how do we use that to help, right? To improve patient care.
That's the important part, right? How do we improve, right? And you can improve if you got data that correlates, and can show a path, right? Reduction in incidents, no matter what they are. So I think that when we talk about the current state of data, I think there's a commercial out with an actor that says the new goal is data. They're right. But now there's so much coming. How do you know what should you be looking at? How does your insights job tell you to know exactly what you should look at with this volume of data and AI bringing you even more data? How do you guys put the pieces of the puzzle together to know we need to focus here?
I actually recommend backing up a little bit and really thinking about what keeps you up at night? What are your biggest problems? instead of a lot of people put the cart before the horse. They say, here's all this data, what can you glean from it? No, we need to back up, think about what the important problems are, and then think about where the data is that supports that problem, right?
Right.
What are the biggest challenges as a data scientist
Mhm.
that you face when you come in and you start working with the client? Because
Yeah.
the volume of data is there. We've been collecting it for years, so I can't imagine it's lack of data. Maybe it is.
No, it is too much data for sure. It's getting the data in a format that can actually be analyzed. And sometimes we actually need to collect new data to support a specific problem. And sometimes it's hard to get buy-in for that because we've already got all this data. Now you're telling me you want to collect more data? Well, sometimes, yes, I need to because we didn't ask that question yet, right?
Is it because like there was something in the workflow that didn't allow it to
Yeah.
get into the system, and so you almost
Yes.
have to, as you say, take a step back
Yeah.
and start making adjustments further upstream in
Correct.
order to be able to solve for that.
Yeah. And it
Okay.
might be a question we never asked, right? That I need, the answer to that before, yeah.
So it sounds like you do a lot of discovery before you get into actual.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of upfront work.
Yeah.
I'm guessing a lot of interviews.
Yeah, understanding processes. And this is where, I think the downfall of AI can be a great accelerator to what you do, right?
Right.
But only you understand that full context, understand your process, right?
Right.
And that's where the real problem solving happens.
Well, I love that you have a focus, a 33-year focus on looking at numbers to make them make sense.
Yeah.
I'm an engineer, so I
Oh,
believe
okay. Yeah. You speak my language. Yeah.
math never lies, right?
Yeah.
But how often do you get people to push back on, well, that can't be right?
Yeah.
Do you ever get that?
Oh, for sure. Even at my own organization, right?
That can't be right.
Yeah.
Fair, Hal Wolf told me, I think it was last year when I talked to him, 68% of statistics are just made up.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it was 68%, but the fact that they were just made up, I can make up any number. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, we all have our life experience and our anecdotes and what just happened with this last patient, right? And so that's top of mind for us is what just happened.
Yes.
But where if you look at the data over a longer period of time, that may not be a trend, right? And yeah.
Right.
How did you ever get started?
So
I think the backstory is
Right.
just always so interesting.
We love your company. Many tabs. How did you get so many tabs?
32 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, I got into statistics because I could never make up my mind of what I wanted to do with my life. I still don't know what I want to do with my life because the thing I love about statistics, and this as an engineer, it applies to everything, right? So one day we'll be working with a healthcare company. Tomorrow I might be working with an automotive company, right? I never had to pick what I wanted to do with my life.
Nice.
So
So
yeah.
do you run statistics for Vegas odds? I mean, do you
Yeah.
go up and like make calculations before you?
Are there any numbers you can tell us we should play?
I can tell you the house always wins.
You sure you don't want to go to the roulette table?
Yeah.
Just not an hour. We'll sit for an hour with you.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, get away while you can. Know when to leave them.
That is awesome. Well, Cheryl, thank you for bringing this to our episode, our live show.
Yes.
I love your passion.
Yes.
After 33 years,
Yeah.
you're still this passionate about the data.
I am.
And you know
Yeah.
what? Again, it was the data we talked about back in the day, but now it is the new king of gold, right?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
where the real value is in our society. And you're at the forefront of it with Minitab,
Yeah.
giving that data that's needed to give better outcomes, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, we want better outcomes.
Yes.
And if the data can support that,
Mhm.
then investments can be made to make sure that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. And as a consumer of healthcare, right, I
Right.
want everybody to be using
Definitely
that
want
data.
everybody to
Yeah.
use it. Tell everybody where they can find Minitab.
Well, minitab.com. It's pretty easy.
That
Yeah.
works. That works
Yeah.
for us. That works for us.
Yeah.
Any more shows for you this season?
Yes, I do the trade show circuit pretty regularly.
Very
So,
nice.
yeah.
Nice.
we'll be at IHI.
IHI, all right.
For healthcare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A big one.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Cheryl, thank you very much for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Been awesome.
It has been fun.
I
Nice
do.
to meet you. Thank
Enjoy
you.
the passion.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
You team have a great show.
Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
too.
Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you so much. We'll be in touch with all this. Perfect timing. Okay, this is live.
I also have a just me.
And you guys know that anytime companies like that, other companies like that, and not doing that. But we've got some companies that get to the stage. A lot of these types of things to make sure that you know that there's a lot before you're watching this. Go down here in the podcast room, you're going to take your packet here. It seems. All right. So we're going to come back in just a few minutes. Hope to see you soon.